Om. Peace. Well, it's nice to be with you all. Always enjoyable to see the faces and the names that I know. We're thinking tonight to just give you an update on the project, of course. We can also give you some information. We have some slides we could show you. And also, you know, I was thinking of giving you a little behind the scenes at Convocation. We just finished up a big week at Mother Center. And we can even start with that. Last Tuesday night, all of the monastics, Brother Chidananda wanted to talk to all of us. So nowadays, all of us means all of us. It means monastics not only in Los Angeles and Encinitas, but Phoenix, back east, the nuns at Greenfield. It means the nuns in Germany. It means all of the monks in India. So when we have an all of us meeting, it means everybody. We were all Zoomed together and had a very interesting meeting after the convocation. Brother was telling us a few things about what was happening behind the scenes. And as many of you know, when we started convocation, we were planning to have everyone go through our website. Well, our website crashed, you know, just into the first, and it was befuddling, to say the least, to everyone here. All of our IT people couldn't solve it. We had people from India, experts in computers, couldn't figure out why our computer was crashing. What had happened was it forced us to put our classes and our convocation on YouTube. And you realize for a 1 month period that just finished up after convocation, we had 1 million hits on our YouTube channel. Over 800,000 were during convocation week. One of the monks was saying that he firmly believes that Master wanted to reach out to much more of the world than would have seen it if it was on our website. And so he, no one even know, they still can't figure it out why it went down, because we were supposed to be, all of this was considered. It was supposed to be able to handle this kind of traffic. But it could well be that Master just wanted this out there. 30 to 40%, the monks were saying, who went on to YouTube, were recommended the channel from what their previous searches and things like this. So these were people who didn't even know of us. So in a big way, I think this convocation reached out to the world and touched the world. Many of the people that who would have never been a part of it. So we had a interesting week at convocation. It was very quiet on the grounds. We had no buses and tours, and but our main hall, if you could have seen it, the main building there, the hall meaning the chapel, and also out into the hall by the fireplace area and into the library, cables everywhere, lights, cameras. The maintenance monks had put up an air conditioning ducts that they could run for some outside air conditioning machines, and these just big giant ducts were just snaking through the main hall to keep everything cool and under the lights. And so we had quite a few live, live action events, kirtans and meditations and talks, and it was quite something. I gave a talk, as you know. It's a little different. You go in, you're looking into a camera, and I figured out afterwards, at Berkeley Temple, you know, you can talk and you can crack a joke and you get some feedback from people sitting there. You kind of, it's almost although it's only one person talking, it really is a two-way conversation. When you're talking into a camera, it's completely one person looking into a light and not knowing what's happening on the other side. And it's different. It's really, really different, and takes some getting used to. So I think all of us learned something this convocation when we were trying to talk to people through that one camera. But you could feel the vibrations. You could feel It really felt like Master was behind the whole thing. I think in many ways, this COVID pandemic, it pushed SRF, uh, pushed it along further than it could have been pushed without it. We were forced to do these things, and in forcing to do them, it was amazing how the whole organization came together. And we really saw that I saw that in the Tuesday night meeting that we had a few days ago, where all of the monastics throughout the world were on the Zoom conference. You know, brother was talking to us, thanking us for our efforts and kind of recapping what went on during the week. He was asking different ones to give a little bit of an insight into what they were doing. And India chimed in. They had some meditations there, as you know, from the Smriti Mandir. And, you know, it's good to see the monks from there. I know most of the older monks in India because they visited here and I visited there, you know, so many times. The younger ones don't know so much, you know, up until I haven't been there in 20 years. So there's a whole contingent of younger monks there that I haven't met yet. But the overall feeling on Tuesday night was, yeah, what a strong worldwide family we have. And sometimes you don't get that feeling if you don't connect in these ways. You know they're there. You know that they're like brother monks in India, but when you see them on from the different ashrams there, and when you see all the scattered family coming together, it's quite a powerful feeling. Overall, I was very proud of brothers and sisters during the convocation week. I thought, and Brother Chidananda said the same. He was very happy with everything. And he's getting a lot of testimonials and letters and people saying, you know, how much the convocation meant to them. So I think it proves to all of us, Master's alive and well, and he has many different ways that he can reach out to us. The convocation this year, it allowed us to really allowed people to attend who hadn't attended in the past. There are many, many SRF members, even here in the USA, where taking a week off is just not possible with their work schedule, or they don't have the financial means to, you know, it's expensive. Convocation is expensive in a hotel in Los Angeles. So it was it was a learning experience. And I think from what I've heard, some people have reached out to me and told me what they thought of it. So I thought it went over very well, and certainly Master was happy with it. So, and I'm glad to have seen many of you who were participating throughout the week. So let's see, any other information I can give? No, I don't have anything. Someone was saying to me that sometime I should encourage any of you who might think of, who've been thinking about joining the online meditation group, but maybe haven't so far, because this person was saying they get so much inspiration from it. You know, it's one way to keep up that feeling that you might get at convocation, that connection, that feeling of being a part of a spiritual family or a group. And I do know that it's very, very powerful, that online meditation group. So if anybody has the time and the inclination, just at least try it. That's Master's way anyways. He says, you know, our path is one of experimentation. If you don't like it, then that's another thing. But it's a shame if it's available and you never give it a try to see what it can do. I do think that Master blesses, gives great blessings through those online meditation gatherings. So worth trying, especially during these times when we don't get together very often. And I don't see you at temples. But anyways, I'm up here in Berkeley this weekend and up into next week. We came up to see the project, and I was out there today in Walnut Creek walking around. So we have a slideshow. I think Giancarlo is going to put that up, and maybe we can go through and show you some of the latest slides, and we can talk you through and let you know where we are. And a few of you have asked questions. We can get into those too, about where we are with the project and things and what we're doing. Alrighty. So Giancarlo, you want to start that up?
Is that good?
Oh yeah, good. And by the way, nice graphic on the beginning there with the picture of the temple. It sure looks
Thanks.
beautiful. It really looks nice. So, okay, so this is our Berkeley temple. We're starting to pack up, and some of the guys are really organizing things. We have different areas there for different parts of the temple. They're putting all of their things there and packing them up so that when we come to the move, it should be fairly simple. Just putting these together and keeping everything like for the kitchen or everything for the Sunday school together so that it's not piecemeal in different places.
Mhm.
So people are doing a lot of work here. I'm impressed. The cabinets. We're going to replace the countertop, of course, but it looks a whole lot cleaner in there. This there's the stove that we're going to use. This kitchen, this middle island, we're going to replace it with the island that we have in Berkeley. It was considered that one was nicer at Berkeley, so this will use elsewhere. This is the book room area. We had some cabinets in the social room there that the Lutherans left behind, and we'll show you a picture of them painted and the shelves in them. And Tim has been very busy moving bookroom stuff over. Here he started. You can see in the back left corner there, there's some, these are the cabinets that shelves were put in. David Strain put shelves in, and Tim was painting.
Mhm.
It's going to be a nice area, a nice book room. Here's the roof on the side in which we've got to get another name for Founders Hall. That's the old building that's in the back corner there. Founders Hall is just to the left. We took off some of the roofing. We took off the top layer, and there was a layer of there's David Strain up on a ladder. You can see the woodwork, and um, we have an engineer. An engineer came out and looked at it. We want to get recommendations as to what's the best way to repair this. We certainly have to replace the covering on it, the sheathing, and that's going to be done. But before doing that, what has to be replaced underneath it? And is it now the time to put some insulation in those different channels there? So engineer came out a week ago. He said he'd take about a week and a half to 2 weeks to look at things. You have to figure out the load, the weight on the roof, what the new roof is going to weigh, um, and he'll come back with a recommendation. So we'll see what that says. I do think we were talking today when we were out there that here we are in August going into September. Um, we probably wouldn't do the roof this year because we'd want to start it early summer, late spring next year when the rains are over. But we wouldn't want to expose the roof and then get into a rainy season in which we're, you know, uh, paying the price inside that the water's coming through. We want to secure the roof up through this year and then maybe start in the spring of next year with the renovation on it. This is the side area. This is of course, between the parking lot and the temple. Um, one section had a fenced-in area where they had kids' equipment for playground kind of things, a swing set and a slide and a. We're going to take all of that out. This is going to be just a nice um, a garden in which it has a few benches, maybe a few tables for sitting. It's nice and shaded with the trees there. It needs another tree down in the area that they used for the kids' playground. Uh, we have Wendy Anderson, who's pretty good at this. She came out today and looked at it and wants to come up with a plan, which we'll show all of you. Um, we want a low maintenance. We don't necessarily want lawn in here that we have to go in every week and mow. And we don't want plants that require such fastidious care that it's a uh, constant work to keep everything healthy. We want something nice, um, fairly low maintenance, maybe more natural to the area. and exotic plants. We'll see. It has tremendous potential, and it'll be a nice place. We were thinking today when we're looking at it, be a great place for after services for people to congregate out in the shade underneath the trees, really not bothering the temple, because this side of the temple is all buttoned up, and people who are talking out here would not, the voices will not carry back into the temple. But that's all we know at this point in time. John Carlo has been steadily digging up these little, nice trip hazards that were planted throughout. They've got a nice foundation, and they stick up about 3 inches, and you can hardly see them, and they're really nice to kick and fall. So, yeah, they have to go.
So we have a young artist in residence who
Oh, I see.
frequents the property.
I see.
And at first I saw this and I washed one of the walls off thinking there was a culprit here. They come pretty much every day, this family. The grandparents take the 2 little girls. But she was very persistent, and some of it got washed off, and then up came these very sweet little drawings, and the little princesses, or maybe Divine Mother. She's only 4-ish, and who knows? She'll be maybe among us one day. It's very sweet.
At least it's not primitive. At least it's not primitive art that all of a sudden the government comes in and says you can't do anything.
I
It
know.
has to be preserved.
And I guess here's her little signature.
Okay, well, thank you.
Great. Yes.
So where are we with the temple? Last week, both Martin and Bruce Lagasse, Martin Fink and Bruce Lagasse, they took the week off, or they worked a little there at the temple, but they attended convocation, which was something that I insisted on. And but they're steadily moving along. Bruce is very busy with the minister's quarters down below. We'll get some pictures for you one of these meetings. I'm keen to get that going, because as soon as that is finished, then we can move out of our apartment here in El Cerrito, where we're paying $1,500 a month. We can save some money. I don't think we're going to be moving in there before, we were talking about it today, September and October. Into October, we'll probably be still working on this, the house there. But November, we should be, November 1, we should be moved over, I would think. That's the tentative schedule. Sunday school, we have plans for the Sunday school. It's with the city of Walnut Creek. They have to look at different things, exits and walls we want to put up. And we think it's going to be okay, but these things, they do take a little time to run through and get the permits. Book room is moving ahead. The kitchen is also moving ahead. We didn't show in the kitchen. It has a cabinet on it, and it has a table. We're going to be taking those out because we wanted room to put in the refrigerator and the freezer from Berkeley into the kitchen area. So that's one thing that'll be done in the next few weeks, I think, is cleaning off that wall space so that we can bring the refrigeration we have over there in Berkeley. Things are going well. When we were talking today, I was asking Martin about things. He was saying that if it came to it, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, it was decided, okay, we can open the temple, and we can, as soon as we want to get ready, we can get ready. We could be in 2 weeks, because really everything that we could have a functioning temple itself in 2 weeks' time. We'd have to move over an altar from Berkeley. That would take a few days, and mount it, but that's basically all we have to do inside the chapel itself. Many of these other things, we're proceeding with the most important things. The Sunday school is certainly important. We want to get that done. Minister's quarters, get that done. Book room will be up and running. Again, I think reminding of the philosophy that we do want to get in there and use it for a while before we make decisions that will affect the use of the buildings for a long period of time. Someone was asking about the, we call it the Founders Hall, this building in the back corner, which we think was the original church. We're pretty sure it was the original church. What are we going to use that for? And if we decided on anything, I really think that's further down the line. I think we have to move into this place and see what our needs are and what are the needs of a temple. Do we have enough meeting space? Do we need a bigger place to meet? Do we need some offices? These kinds of things. I think that once we get in, we'll know the answers to those questions. And from that, we'll really come up with the proper use of that building. I do know, in walking around and looking at all the places, there's plenty of space there. There's plenty of space for everything we need to do. The thing we have to do now is to just wisely apportion the things and not jump the gun by saying, okay, let's put this here and not really thinking it through or using it for a period of time to know what we need. I'm up here this week with, as I have been in the past, with Brother Andre, who works in our planning and building. He came through Richmond. When he was a young man, he attended Richmond Temple. His family lived up here in the Bay Area. And he reminded us, reminded me today, he said, and some of you old timers will know this, we bought the Richmond Temple in 1974. We made renovations on the Richmond Temple that made it such a nice temple in 1986, 12 years. So, we have to remember that, yeah, we'd like to have everything just so when we move in, but it's not going to happen. We'll have what we need. But I want every decision that we make on the use of areas and how we work on them, I want them to be the right decisions and not feel like after, 10 years down the line, we look back and said, well, what were we thinking? We should have done this or this or this. I think we can avoid it by just taking it one step at a time. I think we're making the right decisions at this point, and we're not making decisions that, frankly, I want the temple there before certain decisions are made. I don't want it made by 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 people who think, well, they know what's the right thing. So as all along, I'm urging patience. I think it's moving just the way it needs to move. We haven't heard anything from Mother Center as far as when we're going to open. Here we are, we're pushing into September. It's not going to be before October, November, I don't think, maybe not even before the end of the year. When you look at the list of places that the government is approving to open, usually churches are way down there on that list because it's hard to social distance inside the church. And so we'll see. I have noticed up until now that everything we've done has been, it's on Master's timeline and it seems to be perfect. So there's no reason to think that it's not going to continue that way, that it's not going to be just the right time when it happens. So I'm anxious, just as you are, to get together again and to have that fellowship that we had at Berkeley and before that at Richmond. It'll happen. But in the meantime, it's a great time to be working on the temple because we wouldn't be using it anyway. So what else can I tell you? Anything that you can think of, Giancarlo or Martin Fink? You must be in there somewhere.
I have nothing else to add.
Yeah, I think it's looking wonderful. I was walking around today, and in one of the quiet moments, Brother Andre leaned over to me and he said, "Man, this place is great. How did we ever get this?" And I think it's true. It's a miracle. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful temple. And some years down the line, it's going to be one of the gemstones of Master's, group of temples. So I think we're in the right place. We're moving the right pace, and time will tell.
Brother, I just got unmuted. Is that, do you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. Fine.
Okay, I just wanted to mention something about the volunteers, and we're taking skilled people at this time if they want to give me a call. We're being real careful with what we're doing on it, and we're just, like you say, we're going slow.
Yeah, and we're also social distancing, and it's not a time to have a big group of people out there working on different projects. It's just not wise to do that. So, and it's also not at a place where, okay, we need a group to help weed this area of the flower beds, or these are big things we're still involved in. And yeah, someone was asking, can they come out and meditate at the place? I think there's just too much commotion right now. Let's give it another month or two. And when the big things are done, and the, you know, also I think going out, you know, poor Martin, he's been working tremendously, but every time someone goes out, then if he takes time showing someone around, or if he takes time answering questions, then that's time away from really moving ahead on the projects that he's so involved in. So I want to kind of spare him that too. Give it another couple of months. Yeah.
We have a question from someone here.
Okay.
Oh, John.
It's John. Yeah. Hello, brother. Hello,
Hi.
John Carter.
Yeah.
So when are we actually leaving Berkeley Temple? I mean, when we have to be out?
Okay. We have to be out January 15, 2021. That's the end of our lease.
Okay.
We tried to get out earlier, but no, the lease is pretty strong. That the owner called us and said, can he be showing people the property with the idea that if he finds somebody who wants to rent the place, then we could get out of our lease. You know, and we said, sure, you can bring people over. He's going to work through Nagendra, just like all of us are.
Yes.
To set up appointments to bring possible tenants in to take a look at the place. But I kind of think we're going to, you know, we're not going to get out of it until January 15th. It's just the nature of the beast.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And we're going to move things over from Berkeley when we have a place where we can put them. Right now, there's a lot going on, and to move things in or to put chairs over here, it would just require moving these things again when we tried to, you know, clean underneath it or whatever we needed to do. So probably another month or 6 weeks before we start moving things over.
Okay.
I guess.
Brother, that reminds me, if anybody out there has experience with a floor polisher, we have a very high grade commercial floor polisher, and we'll need to redo the floors before we bring chairs and things over.
Yeah.
So that would be one thing if somebody has any experience. You can learn pretty fast, but it does have its quirks.
Yeah. So that would drag you behind it until you
Yes.
learn. It's one of these big spinning, you know, disc things. They left it there, which is very nice. It's and we have this big wide open area in the social room there. So we're thinking polishing up those floors, and then we can start bringing things over and then stacking things in the social room area. So let us know if you, not only if you have experience, but if you feel like you can do it. We don't want anyone in their 80s trying this, chasing it around the room. Well, let's see what else we have. We had a few questions come in. Let's see if I can pull those up.
Martin, I was just going to ask, how do you want people to contact you? Like if somebody does have experience with a floor polisher?
My cell phone,
What is that number?
925-381-6654.
Great.
They can always go through Nagendra. They can always go through Sean or you. But if they want to call me direct, that's fine too.
You could always email info-assistant@Berkeley Temple, and I'll get any messages on to Martin.
You can, if you want to put something up, you can put my email up too. You want that? Not now.
Not right now. No, I guess
Okay,
not.
that's fine.
Thanks.
Some questions that came in. One person asked, would it be helpful for us to know from Brother G how our finances are these days for meeting the general expenses? Nice to have that donation button available. And maybe Chris Crystal can answer this better than anyone. How are our finance? Yeah, we're not getting regular. Of course, we don't have services, so there's no money coming in from the weekend, offerings that we have at the temple, which usually comes into, we're in $5,000–6,000 a week we take in, huh? Normally.
Oh, normally we do, but without collections, it's probably half of that. Although I just got access to what we're getting in donations online. I joined the SRF Microsoft Teams group, and the accounting department is sending that,
Okay.
making it available on a weekly basis.
Yeah, we still have expenses. We're paying electrical. We're paying. We stopped the trash collection there. That was quite expensive. At Berkeley.
But we're paying
we're paying it in Walnut Creek.
Yeah, paying at Walnut Creek, and the electrical, the gas,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we're getting by. We're not. It's they haven't. I'm still getting an allowance at Mother Center. Let's put it that way. So if that stops, I'll let you know. Someone asked about what's happening with Founders Hall. Will we be able to use it when we open? Probably not. I think that's kind of low on our priority list because it requires a lot of work. It's going to require some work to get in there and redo that building but the flower room, certainly we're going to use. We're planning on getting that up and running. That's a corner of that building. And we'll have some refrigerators in there, and it's got a sink and everything else. Should we start a fundraiser for it? I think it's too early. Again, we'll move in there and we'll figure out what we want to do and what it's going to cost. And some of these things, yeah, if we want to, it may require another fundraiser to do a particular project that we can't get to. We want to use the money that we have, and Andre is he's very exacting with this. He's the first to tell me, brother, I think we shouldn't spend money on this. This was not in our original budget. So we're really trying to spend just on the things that we need to get done at this period. We're going to see what kind of funds we have left over when we get these things done. We're coming in under budget on the minister's house, thanks to Bruce Lagas. He's really doing a good job there. But again, we don't want to add things on at this point when we don't know how much money we'll have at the end. So we'll do everything we can. We want to get the roof. We don't know what that's going to cost. We want to get the minister's quarters. We want to get the Sunday school. We want to get those up and running. Book room looks like it's ready to go, and kitchen needs a little work, but not so much. So someone says here, I'll read it. They said, I'm feeling heartbroken about some things that are occurring in this world that may be irrevocable, that may irrevocably alter life on Earth regarding some technology and other changes that many governments are adopting. I'm not sure how to balance my inner life light with the deep calling to social activism and with the enormity of fear/survival that gets stirred. I feel that if people are educated about what's going on behind the scenes, they can make positive changes in their lives and possibly not continue to put money into corporations that are creating these unfathomable changes. Thank you for listening. I won't give the name. Yeah, crazy times, huh? First of all, Master says the Earth isn't going anywhere. So I think Brother Chidananda in one of his addresses a few months back, he mentioned, yeah, the Earth is going through a difficult time right now. The world is going through a difficult time. But these things are cyclical. If you look back through history, these things, it's never been bliss here on Earth for long periods of time. There's always periods when things seem difficult. We have the help of a guru. We have a teaching and an explanation as to why things are. I think we're far ahead of most people in the world. I think these are the times when you have to just hold close to the lifeline that our Guru gives through the teachings, through the practice of the teachings. That's why I'm encouraging you. You know, use this online meditation center. Make that maybe that's your fellowship that you need at this point in time. But it's available, and the more you get used to using it, and I think it's something sent by Guru to help all of us. Some people, I think, are called to more activism. I had a question a month ago when I met with the young adults. There was a group of them that had a satsang with me, and one of the young adults asked me. They said that this was at a time when people were when the riots were going, when people were protesting in the street, and this person was saying, "I just feel like I need to do more. I feel like I need to be out there, lending my voice to the problems that they're trying to correct." And they wanted to know what I thought. I think we're all wired differently. We certainly all have different karma. We all have different dharmas, you know, different duties in the world. I think if someone is called to that and feel like they are, then yeah, probably it's right for them to become more active in it. But I also said that, you know, Master has a very interesting definition, or not an interesting definition, but a new way of interpreting reaching out and helping people. Master says that, you know, we have to love God with all our heart, mind, and soul and strength. That's number one duty. And second, to love our neighbors as ourselves, as Christ had said. Those two things we have to do. But he said that Master's way of putting it is to help all those who cross your path. All those who cross your path. And meaning that God will send to you those people you need to help, or that thing you need to do. It will come to you. You don't have to go looking for it. You don't have to go out and take on the world and try to change it. And again, you know, these things, they're so individual, and they're so, what's right for one person doesn't necessarily mean it's right for another. I think we all have to find that place, that balance in our life, where we are ever ready to help all those across our path. But first and foremost, Guruji used to say, change yourself and you'll change thousands. We have, it's the opposite of being selfish if you're seeking God earnestly. You are just by yourself changing, you know, who you are, how you vibrate, how you influence the world, how you bless the world. You're doing much more than anything you could do in the world. So for each of you, if you have those questions, then you have to introspect and see what this means. And maybe this person that I just read the question from, maybe they are compelled to do more. That's something that they alone can answer. But know that what you're supposed to face in life, those come to you. Those come to you. He has another quote in the Gita. What is it? The cosmic law sees to it that those duties that you are meant to perform, that those duties which come to you in the natural course of life are those you are meant to perform for your own welfare. That's profound. That's a profound statement. The cosmic law sees to it that those duties you are meant to perform, those duties that come to you in the natural course of life are those you are meant to perform for your own welfare. Again, these things come to you. You don't have to go out and make them up. You don't have to go out and really even discover them. And if your first and foremost duty in life is going within and trying to make that connection, build that relationship with the divine, then you know that everything is just, it's in harmony with your whole, with what your purpose is and what your role is in life. I'm wandering here. Anyways, some thoughts that come up when I read a question like that. Someone else said, hang on. That's all I got, I think. Oh yeah, in the closing talk by Brother Chidananda, he mentioned something about lay Kriyaban disciple organization in the future. Can you give us more information about it? No. He said that in the fall, there's going to be more information. I know everybody's working on this. It's a, Master had a vision about a lay disciple order, really. Something in the future, and Brother is working on that. He's forming some ideas, working with different ones. He kind of hinted at it at the closing of convocation, but he said he'd have more information in the fall. And I think we just wait for that to come out. You'll get it. It'll come out through a newsletter or whatever. The idea is, Master thought that, yes, there should be a monastic order, and there should be a group of lay disciples who also are able to make a deeper commitment to in their following of the path. They commit to a deeper connection, maybe to SRF and to Master. And yeah, and that's kind of all I know. I think all of this is being thought out. I must say, Brother Chidananda, if anyone can figure things out, I have tremendous faith in him. He's someone who always knows. He always knows. He's got one of these minds that knows exactly what Master said and when he said it. So I think he'll draw on that talent that he has and come up with something that'll be shown to everyone. And so that's all I know. And let's see. Yeah, this is all one-way talking, not so easy. Anything else I missed? I mean, we could say you can raise your hands, but if it gets too out of hand, we'll have to. Any other questions? I think things are going well with our new temple, the Bay Area temple. We'll know more as the months go on. Next month, we'll again meet like we've done these past couple of months. And we'll show more pictures and let you know where we are. And I think we'll get some more clarity with another 2 months. I think we'll have some clarity as to how we're doing, when we'll finish up, when maybe even we'll have some clarity as to when we reopen. But we're not there yet. It's still a little muddled.
Exactly.
Right.
We have one question from Lynn.
Okay.
Hi, yeah, it's Linny, and I was the one with the question about the money, and just wanted to know which button, the general donation button or the building fund button, would be most helpful now?
Chris Crystal knows all of this, and so he's the financial wizard that I rely on.
Oh, yeah. Brother, I think it's a very individual decision. There are, I'd say about 50-50 donations come in. Half of them maybe want to donate directly to the building fund. which is, of course, a big need of ours. And there are others that say, well, we haven't had collections, we haven't had Sunday services, and we're not taking collections. So I'm just going to give it to the general fund. So it's just what your heart says to you. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer about it.
Yeah, general fund is, we usually cover our expenses, have been covering all of our expenses at Berkeley. So we don't, Mother Center doesn't pay for our electricity and our, so there's a need there. We want to cover those expenses. Anything into the building fund will help us in our move-in, and it covers all kinds of expenses that we have. But I probably would agree with you, Chris. It's probably half and half the need right now. Yeah.
Speak up, speak into the.
Brother, I have a question.
Yes.
This is Fred.
Yeah.
The question I have is the supplementary material that came with the lessons, or what was to come with the lessons. Is that what Brother Chidananda referred to as the follow-up lessons that are coming?
Yes, I believe so. I believe so. He had told, I think the monastics, maybe he told everyone in his meeting that one of Master's wishes was he didn't want the lessons just to be the only thing that devotees get. He said that in SRF, they need a constant, people need a constant connection somehow with Mother Center and with the Guru. So we're going to be getting things that we haven't seen before, things that Master had said, lectures, and I don't know how they're doing it at Mother Center. I'm not in the editorial end of things, but I'm just, I'm amazed that this, first of all, we got a treasure trove with these new lessons, and now they're going to continue with the supplemental lessons. But I think that this is what they're going to be. And into the future, we won't be using service readings anymore. These supplemental lessons will replace the service readings. So how that's going to work, I'm not sure either. But yeah, we've got oodles of stuff coming. So yeah.
We're really looking forward to that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it would be nice. So maybe we should start with, let's have a little meditation, and we'll actually, we're almost an hour, so we've used up our time. Let's have a short meditation here. Let us pray together. Beloved Guru, teach us to find thy presence on the altar of our constant peace and in the joy that springs from deep meditation. Om. Peace. Amen. Well, thank you all for your time. We'll see you again next month, huh? Keep well. Stay connected. Not to me, to the Guru. And we'll see you then. Jai Guru.